There's more than one way to beat a drum, and there's more than one way to make one. Earlier, we showed you how they create a drum shell from a maple plank. But a newer technique involves layering multiple plies of wood. This process is called laminating, and you can hear the difference. The laminated drum is an instrument of change. Its sound is crisper than a drum crafted from a single piece of wood. To make one, they layer 11 sheets of maple. Here, a worker glues on the final ply using a special adhesive. This outer layer is a luxurious bird's eye maple. Rollers press all the layers together to ensure they stick without any gaps. Then they cut through the overlap to create a perfect seam. A robotic drill now takes over. It drills holes of various diameters. The small ones will hold hardware. This larger one is an air vent. A computerized router then cuts the bearing edges to a 45-degree angle, and a worker sands it smooth. He uses a level surface to ensure that all the edges are perfect. If they're not, the drum heads won't fit properly. He applies an adhesive to the air hole and inserts a plastic vent. Next, he inserts brackets called lugs into the other holes and screws them in. There are 10 lugs spaced 36 degrees apart. They'll hold the rods that will attach the heads to the drum shell and also enable the drummer to adjust the tension on the heads. Here, he attaches a lever to control wires called snares that are to be strung across the bottom head. It's called a snare strainer. Then he fits a plastic drum head over the bottom of the shell. The counter hoop goes on next. It has little tabs which he aligns with each lug. He slides tension rods into the holes in the tabs. Using a drum key, he tightens the head to an even tension across the shell. Now he blasts it with a heat gun to shrink the plastic and remove any wrinkles. Now he places another plastic head on the top bearing edge. Since this head is the one that gets played, it's twice as thick as the bottom one. He places the chrome rim on it and tightens the tension rods. These brass brackets will hold the snare wires. He slides them under the snares that are stretched tightly across a jig, putting one at each end. He measures the length, then solders the snare wires to the brackets. He snips the wires on both ends and unlocks each wire from the holding device. When he removes the snares, they're held together by the brackets. He slides a nylon strap into one of the brackets, then attaches the strap to a fixture just above the bottom head. The other end of the snare is attached to the strainer, the lever that will apply tension and release it, controlling its distinctive buzz. For a bigger sound, there's the bass drum. It's made with wooden hoops. They attach the hoops to the drum shell with steel claws. As they screw the claws to the hoop, the drum head is pulled just tightly enough to produce that low-pitched bass drum sound. Now it's off to be played.